Good morning, everyone. Hope you guys can hear me. Welcome to the Google Cloud platforms. So before starting the demo, let me introduce myself. Guys, my name is Sheikh Saidul. I have more than 7+ years of experience as a cloud data engineer in the field of GCP Google Cloud platforms only. So I have completed my master's degree from National Institute of Technology, Tiruchirappalli. Currently, I am working at a big MNC as a cloud big data engineer. So yeah, before starting the course, let me tell you the course content that what we are going to discuss in next 45+ of hours. The course name is very simple, sir. It is a data engineering with GCP. This is something you might have heard everywhere. Data engineer Azure or data engineer GCP or a data engineer AWS. So this is with the GCP, sir. GCP is nothing but a Google Cloud platforms. So in here we are going to cover these are all in general topics, which is we are going to start our course with the cloud basics, and after that data engineering, and then we deep dive into the Google Cloud platform services. One by one services we are going to cover, sir. One thing what we do is like we theoretically cover the topics, as well as once the theoretical is completed, what we're gonna do is like we also do the practical lab on the GCP. So for that we may have to create an account of free tier account with the GCP. They will provide us the 300 credits. By using those credits we can do the whatever the practical things that we're going to do. It is not a theoretical class, sir. It is plus both theoretical plus practical lab. So we're gonna do the hands-on labs with the GCP services that we are going to do. So once after that, in the very first thing as a data engineer, what we have to learn is like data engineering concepts, then SQL development, sir. So that is structured query language development. After that, we're gonna cover the developer tools like VS Code, Git, GitHub, all those things as a version control systems that we're gonna cover. And in this one, we are going to cover 4 end-to-end real-time concepts as well, sir. Those are building a data warehouse in a BigQuery, building a orchestration for batch loading data. Some we might have heard there are two varieties of the data, that is a batch loading data as well as the streaming data. So for that one, we have a end-to-end project for each layer. One is for batch load and one more is for streaming data. And after that, not only we are not only covering these end-to-end data warehouse, we also nowadays we might have hearing here and there like data lake and data lake. So that is something we're gonna do with the data pro. So we almost covering all the GCP services with end-to-end projects in this entire course of 45 hours. So that is something. So if you can see the services that we are going to cover in GCPR, if you can see here, let 1 minute, guys. Yep. Yeah, here. So we're going to cover the compute services. In compute services, we are going to cover the compute engine. What is a compute engine and theoretical lab on it. The best thing that what we are doing, first we are going to do the theoretical thing, and once the theoretical is completed, we're going to do the practical lab on the GCP. That means how to create a compute engine in the GCP, how it is very useful for our daily work. That is one thing. And after that, same goes for all the services, sir, theoretical plus practical. And after that, we're going to cover the app engine, container registry, all these things. And once the compute services are completed, we're going to do the user and access management via IAM. IAM is one of the best tool in the GCP to manage the users, provide the access and provide the permissions to each individual who are working in a company or who are working under a project. So IAM is nothing but a identity access management. In this one, what is IAM? What are the resource manager? What is a resource hierarchy? What is a folder? What is a project? Everything that we are going to cover in IAM. Once the IAM is completed, we're gonna directly go to the storage and databases, sir. This is a very basic thing that we first start with. But before that itself, we're going to cover few basics that I'm going to show you now. 1 minute. 1 minute. So before deep dive into the GCP services, sir, we are going to cover what is data, why it is so important, how to store the data. This is a challenging, sir. So everyone knows that every company, every CEO of the company or a business owner, what they need is like for them, the data is very important. But how we gonna store the data, because if it is a 1 GB of data, 2 GB of data, that is fine. We can easily store the data, that kind of data. What if it is a 500 GB of the data, or thousands, terabytes of the data, or petabytes of the data? Then that is the challenge is coming to the picture. That's where we have to focus as a big data engineer. We have to worry about how to store the data. Okay, once the data is stored, how to process the data, right? How to processing it. For example, if I want to filter it out the data, or if I want to add the aggregations, or whatever the things, if I want to do that, how to process it. Even though storing the data is very simpler, but how to do the processing, so that we gonna cover. And how to analysis very important, sir. Finally, as a business owner, they would not focus directly on the tables. They don't want the tables, they want reports or a dashboard, so that directly they can understand what they want from these pictorial views, so that it will be very helpful for them to understand. So our main focus is on data, why it is so important. So if you can see here on the chart, so we will be having a different varieties of the data as well as different sources of the data. The very first thing as a data engineer, what I do is like I will collect the data and store it in some place. I think about it as a civil engineering perspective, sir. Civil engineering perspective, what we do, if I want to build if I want to construct a building, what I will do, I get a raw material from the different sources like a sand, bricks, water, right? After that, I try to mix it. That is what I call a processing. Once I get the raw material in one place and I do the processing. Processing is nothing but I mix the water as well as the cement as well as the sand, so that there is a mixture of component will become, and I use the bricks to construct a wall. And once after everything is ready and we store everything in one place, that is what we are calling as a house. Okay, even the house is not the final components, sir. For us, we gonna do a cosmetically looking, to cosmetically look good. What we do is like we add the colors, we add a cosmetic, all those things, then our final analysis is done. Okay, once the data is stored in one place, what I want, data can be in a different varieties, it can be stored. Either it can be a stable form, or either it can be in a PDF or Word file. But most of the CEOs or data business owners, they can't directly understand. Even though if they want to understand the table, it's going to take a lot of time, right? For them, what I do is like I create a BI reports and I focus on so that they can easily understand those reports. So our main phase is, as a data engineer, I will focus on these four, sir. One is I have a different varieties of the sources. I create a pipeline in such a way that the sources will be connected to the storage system where the data will be stored in the form of raw. And once after I create a one more data pipeline where it is connected to the processing engine, and after that I create a one more pipeline to store the processed data. So this is what. So as a data engineer, what I'm gonna do in a company. So if you guys have any doubt in a company as a data engineer, we're going to work on these things, sir. I'm going to state it here one by one. So the very first thing, as a data engineer, I'm a developer. So I have to get perfect with the SQL development. First thing. Or if you have bit of Python is also very good, sir. If you know a bit of Python, it will be really helpful for you. This is one thing. You are a developer to the company. You will act as a developer when there is a requirement of developing the skills. You will be very helpful to them. But you are not stopping there, sir. Data engineering is foundation. So the very first thing is like you're gonna create a data pipelines. The main thing for you as a data engineer is to create the data pipelines. These data pipelines can be two things, sir. One is streaming, and one more is batch data processing. Okay, so there are two ways. So we're gonna create all these things, sir, in our course as well. So once after the data pipelines creation is done, So what you're gonna do is like you're gonna monitor these data pipelines. If something goes as well, you are gonna dig deeper and do the root cause analysis, and you find out that there is a problem here. You again try to construct a data pipeline from the scratch. That's what your work is focusing on. And once after the data pipeline creation is done, you will be focusing on big data processing, sir. So you are a data engineer. You're gonna be working as a developer as well as a data pipeline creation engineer as well as a big data processing engineer. So these are the three things you're gonna be focusing on. So for that reason, in our course also we have added plenty of the sources like that. If we go to our course and see, we compute engines, IAM, big data and storage services. Storage and databases, you will be focusing as a development concepts. In big data, you will be learning the big data concept, so that it will be very helpful for you to become a big data engineer after 2 or 3 years. Now as a engineer, as one once after the course, you can directly put your resume on the Naukri or somewhere, so that you can be become a directly a data engineer. But the only thing that I expect from you is like focusing on the data engineering concepts. So that is where you'll become a data engineer. And not only that, why we are learning the GCP is one of the concepts are because data engineer can be in a both AWS is there and Azure is there and GCP is there. But why we are learning the data engineer in GCP is like one thing I could say that we have a already cloud providers available in the market like AWS and Azure. Why we should choose the GCP? So you please listen carefully, because the market for the Azure as well as the AWS is saturated. For 100 jobs, there is already 200 members are already available and trained. If we can't compete with them, right? And not only that, most of the companies nowadays looking towards the GCP, because GCP is very reliable, and not only reliable, it is again very cheaply available. If there are plenty of the opportunities out there with the GCP, but there's no one who is already trained. So that is our focus on. So already the companies are looking for the GCP engineers, but there's no perfect trained people available. So our focus is to fulfill that gap, to become a data engineer in the GCP, so that we can gain those opportunities by learning this course. So that is our main focus, to make you those data engineer in the GCP. These are the 4 projects. These are the end-to-end real-time projects, sir. This is something not I have not prepared from my mind. It is already there in one few of the companies. If you go and working in the GCP now, you will exactly work in these environment only. It is not more than that. You are, for example, if you know anyone who is working in the GCP, you go and connect with them. If they also say something related to the one topic, no, those topics we will be covering in this end-to-end projects. Okay, so this is one thing. Let me start with what is an introduction to the GCP, and I will tell you what is a GCP. The very first thing in the Google Cloud platform, so think about AWS or Azure. AWS and Azure are a leading cloud providers. Likewise, GCP is also one of the leading cloud providers. Okay, what these offers, sir? We have a leading cloud providers like AWS, Azure, and GCP. What these offers? These offer the computing services, sir. Cloud computing services. So you don't have to manage your infrastructure. For example, if you go and see earlier, 10 years before, most of the companies are buying a lot of hardware, lot of infrastructure, like for example, buying a hard drives, pen drives, all those things. No, it is a lot of cost. Not only that, we may not be using all those services. That is where AWS, Azure, and GCP focused on. So they are providing the cloud computing services on the go. That means if you have a good internet connection, so that you can use their services, like compute, storage services, networking services, big data. For example, think that we every day we are using the Google Drive, right? Google Drive is one of the Google Cloud platform service only. So what they do, if you want to store something like our videos or photos, we can store it on the Google Drive, right? Likewise, Google Cloud is one of the famous platform to provide these cloud computing services. What are the services it provide? So if you ask me the services, what it provides is like it provides the computing, storage, networking, big data, and many more services. Okay. So why companies are looking towards the GCP is a very good question. If you ask me that question, I will tell you directly. So these things are, see, why Google platform, why Google Cloud platform, why companies are looking towards the GCP. The main catch here is very first thing is like it is cost effective, sir. Okay, it is cost effective. If something is, if I go to supermarket, if I want to buy something, if it is cheap as well as a good quality, then what is I need, what extra I want, right? So that is something Google Cloud platform is providing the services at a less cost with a good quality. When I say good quality, it is a fully managed, very fast services, very secured services, reliable. Why I say reliable, sir? We have been using the Google services from the last decade. If you can think about our Google search engine, or Gmail, or Google Drive, or Google Maps, all these are from the Google only. We know that how Google is perfect providing these services. Likewise, Google Cloud Platform is also built upon the same infrastructure like G search engine, YouTube, and Gmail, as well as Google Maps. So that is the reason most of the companies are now trusting the GCP, and now the market for the GCP has increased. Earlier, the market for it is at 2020, the market for the GCP is 18%. Now it has increased almost 20 to 25%. Now for the AWS and Azure, AWS, the market for the AWS is now saturated and decreased around, it is around now 30 plus. Okay, Google Cloud Platform services are keep on growing. Not only that, the services, the cost of the services are less cheap compared to the AWS and Azure, and that is the reason. And not only that, these services are very reliable in terms of fastness, secureness, all those things. So that is the reason most of the companies nowadays, uh, almost all the projects are related to. If there is a cloud project, they are using the GCP. That's how the trend become now. So if you want to become a data engineer, this is where a good place for you is like you can't compete with the AWS engineers, sir. I'm telling you, if you want, if you are from a non-IT background, sir, let me tell you who can go for this course. Before that, let me start one thing. Let me tell you this thing. Sir, anyone who want to plan their future in a software industry for the next 15 to 20 years, and if they want to learn from the very basics, because if you go and see in the YouTube or anywhere Google public documentation, what Google says is like you don't need a degree, you just need a knowledge to learn the GCP services. Okay, you don't need a degree. So that's what the trend for the GCP. So if you want to plan your future in the software industry for the next 15 to 20 years, this is a very best course for you, so that you can learn from the very basics onwards, like what is data. I'm going to cover the concepts from what is data. If you can see here my material, I'm going to covering my concepts from the what is data, a database, what is the database management system, what are the types inside it, and what is the classification of data. All those things we will be learning in our course. Once after the basics are covered, only we will be going into the GCP. So it is very helpful for you. Even the people are from non-IT also can able to understand, because that is where I focus on each and every topic. I may be talking it now very fast, but in the classes I will be talking very slow and by clarifying all your doubts. So don't worry about that. So we will be covering all these basic concepts, sir. Once the basic concepts is completed, what we're gonna do is like we go to the cloud basics. What is cloud basics? What is first thing? What is a on-premises computing model? And after that, what is a cloud computing model? What is the difference between the on-premises as well as cloud computing? Okay. And after that, there are few people who can come from a non-IT backgrounds, right? They don't know what is a software development life cycle. So I'm going to start from there as well. What is a software development life cycle, so that they can understand the phases of the software development life cycle. And I will be starting with what is cloud computing. Why we need a cloud? Because everyone knows that there are the challenges with the on-premises. That is where we are looking towards a cloud computing. And what are the basic concepts to make the cloud computing feasible and accessible to the end users. There are two models that are available in the any cloud provider. One is deployment models, one is service models. So we're going to be looking towards all these things. Once the clouds are once the basics of the cloud is completed, what we're going to do is like we're gonna start with the IAM, identity access management, this service. And why we have to start this with IAM? No, it is identity access management. If I want to use any of the service in the GCP, I have to create a project first. I have to provide access to the person first. So that is the reason we're gonna start with IAM. Once the IAM is completed, I will start with the storage and databases. After that, compute services. After that, big data. So all these services, whatever I have mentioned, except networking, few basics, but machine learning is not covered here, sir. Almost all the services, whatever I have mentioned here, we are going to cover in this topic. So this is for both the students, sir. One type of student who are already in the same field. If they want to nurture them, or if they want to mold them with the more basic concepts and with the more elaborated way, they can go for this course. And one more target audience is like, sir, I am from a different background. I want to move to the IT and I want to get a job and I want to sustain here for the next at least 10 years. Then it is a very good choice for you as well. Sir, I am already in the IT and I'm in a testing background or a mainframe background or some other background, but I want to move to the data engineering data field, because nowadays the data field is booming like anything. Like there are plenty of opportunities with a very good pay. So this is also for them. And one more thing is like, sir, I am already in the GCP field, but I want to go for a certification as a cloud data engineer or a professional data engineer. Then this is a course for you as well, sir. So there are four target audience. One is who want to migrate from a non-IT background to the IT background, one thing. And one more person who is already there in the GCP field, but they want to learn a few more concepts. For them as well, this is course. And sir, I am in already in the IT field, but I am from a different background in the IT, like a testing or mainframe. So I want to move to the data field. That is also one thing, sir. I am already looking for a certification in the GCP. So is this course is for them as well? Yes, this course is for those candidates who is also going for the certification. For kind of a, so I'm gonna state it here, sir. One, from non-IT to IT, sir. To IT. This is one target audience. One more target audience is like IT different field guys. Okay. And one more target audience is like, sir, I want to go for certification. So these are the three target audience that we are focusing on, sir. If someone want to move from non-IT background to IT background, sir, I am a mechanical engineer. I am want to move to the IT because I don't know which course I want to start. I don't know. Now I can see somewhere here and there that the IT is booming. So there are plenty of opportunities in the IT. And people are also saying that to get into the data field, not much basics are required. Is this course for me or not? Yes, sir. This is course is for you. That is one thing. And one more guys are from testing background and mainframe background. They can also learn this course and directly move to the or get a hike, one thing. And this course is for those who want to go for a certification to get the hikes. So that is also for them. Okay. So what are the roles that by learning this course, what are the roles you can expect? No, there are two roles that you can expect. There are plenty of roles. Different companies are calling, but you can directly say that these are the two courses. One is cloud data developer, sir. One more is cloud data engineer. So, sir, there are people who want to go for a data science. They want to become a machine learning engineer. No, through this it will happen, sir. If you want to go for a machine learning, directly it's going to take at least 1.5 years to learn the entire concepts. But if you're gonna learn this course and get into a job within 1 year, if you want to learn machine learning concepts, you can directly go for a machine learning engineer as well. This will help you. Okay. So there are 2 roles that you can expect from this course. If you want to go up outside and prepare your resume and get your job, there are 2 roles available by learning this course. One is cloud data developer and one more is cloud data engineer, sir. If you have a plan of becoming a machine learning engineer as well or a data scientist, this is a very good course for you as well, sir, because by our course is for both beginners as well as pro students, and they can directly go for a data developer as a data engineer. Okay. So this is the course content that we are going to cover in this entire course. And once after this, okay, there are few things that I want to tell you, sir. In our courses, what we're going to cover is like we're going to cover theoretically plus practically, sir. So both. So for that one, we are going to create a one free account, GCP free account. I will tell you how to create a free account, how to practice in the GCP, because sir, this course is not theoretically. When I say theoretically, you're gonna learn something and you forget something tomorrow. But if you learn practically, what happens is like you're gonna get a practical experience, and even you, if you want to put 1 year experience, 2 year, 3 year, up to max 4 years of experience, you can manage with this course, sir. 4 years of experience, because theoretically we are learning, practically we are learning. After that, projects, 3 to 4 projects that we are going to cover in this topics, in this course. So this is what we are going to cover, theoretically plus practically plus projects, and with help of this free account. And not only that, our topics are like this: 20 hours for the entire services, 20 hours, 25 hours for the project. So once the course, by the course completed, you are now as a data engineer, you already know all the concepts related to the GCP, which I have mentioned earlier, and you have a practical knowledge with help of these projects as well. So I'm telling you, sir, nowhere you will get a project experience like this. So I would like to show you how I gonna cover this projects. For example, if you are, let me open one service, sir. Okay, so this is one of the project developing a data warehouse in the GCP. So this is how project will be started, sir. Usually nowadays, if you are going for an interview, now what happens is like they ask the scenario based questions, right? Likewise, in our project also, we are going to cover scenario based concepts only. So what happens if a business manager or a business owner came to you and asked their requirements? So likewise, if you can see here in this scenario, we met with the business users. Here are their requirements. These are their requirements, sir. So when the situation come, what are the things that we going to do? How we do the planning and how we execute the steps one by one. We do all these things in our projects, steps and planning for the handling of scenario one. So once everything is done, step by step, what we're going to learn in the GCP. Once after the thing is done, so we're going to go to the scenario two, and again there is a planning and how we're going to execute this scenario two. Everything that we are going to cover in this topic, sir. This is one project. Likewise, we have a different various projects, like other 3 projects also there in the batch loading as well as streaming data. So this is a full-fledged entire GCP course where we are going to focus on both storage as well as big data, so including compute engines as well as IAM. Okay, so this is I think that's all for the now, sir. You can expect all the, for example, if you are going for the interview, I will also provide you the resume preparation help. One thing I can show you here, I might have forgot to mention that. Okay, if you can see here, I'm also providing the job assistance, like I will help you with the resume preparation. One thing, sir, And interview questions, one more thing. One is resume preparation, sir. One more is interview questions. What are the common interview questions they ask from the very basics to the pro level? I will provide you those material as well. Not only that, every day the link will be shared to you. The course is for the 45 hours. Every day the link will be shared to you. One more thing is like the material for the preparation is also shared to you, sir. For example, if you are covered one topic, if you want to practice those things, if you want those commands, I will be providing you every day with those commands likewise. So this is an entire course for the data engineering with GCP, sir. For the course duration is 45 hours. Okay, thank you, sir. We will meet from tomorrow onwards for the regular classes. Sir, there have been few questions related to the salary and who can go for this course. One question I have got from the student is like, what are the salary after this course? What I can expect. So if I want to tell you about the salary ranges and all, sir, it totally depends upon your base salary, sir. I'm going to give total overall salary expectations, that how much you can expect and all. For example, if you are from a non-IT background, think that you are from a mechanical engineering background and your package is like 3.5 LPR, 3 LPR, max to max 4 LPR. Okay. So what package maximum you can get in here is like, you will at least start with 8 LPA here. 8 LPA, and this is for the first offer, sir. If you get a first offer itself, your package is like 8 LPA. But if you have got a second offer as well, that means if you cracked one more interview, then you can at least expect 10 plus or 11 plus. Okay, that's what there is a demand for the data engineers. You can use that demand, you can get into the IT. And one thing is that your package is like from 3.5 to 11 plus is maximum that you can get. Okay, this is a minimum. For example, if you get one more offer, sir, there are my students who got 5 plus offers as well. That guy got 3.4 LPA to 3.4, not 34, sir, 3.4 LPA to now it is 14.5 LPA without variable pay plus variable pay, sir. Okay, his package is around 17 plus with variable pay. So that's how you can expect. The only thing you have to do is like learn the concepts and get some management skills from me. What are those management skills, sir? Sir, whenever you are going for the interview, how to talk with the, how to negotiate the packages, how to talk with the HR, all those things before going to the interview, can speak with me. You can connect with me so that I will try to help you to get into the your dream job. That is one thing, sir. This is one concept. This is for the mechanical engineers, sir. I am already in the IT, working as a testing engineer or a mainframe engineer. My package is already 7 plus. How much package I can expect, sir? This is, there are two categories for you. One category is you can provide this certification and get into in your same company. You can get a hike around 10 plus. In your same company, if you don't want to move a company, you can directly get a 10 plus LPA by showing this skills to your manager or cross skilled person, so that it will be 10 LPA. But if you want to move to one more company, it happens to you as well with at least 12 plus 15. And this is first offer, sir. I am always talking about the first offer. If you got one more offer as well, that offer will be 16 LPA plus. So what you have to do is like always crack 2 or 3 interviews. So for that kind of a knowledge, I will boost your confidence here. I will give you the all the knowledge required to the getting into the IT, or not only that, getting into your dream job, landing on your dream job. I will give you all the confidence. One thing, all the knowledge I will provide you, project experience I will provide you. That is one thing. Sir, there are people who are completed their graduation on like 2015 or 14 or 2016. Sir, I can tell you from for those candidates is one thing is like, if you manage your documents, if you have a proper documents, then you can put a max to max 4 years of experience in the GCP, sir. I am telling you, with this 5, 6 years of experience, if you are ready to take few kind of a risk now, then your package would be at least 18 plus. Okay, the only thing here is like you have to put a lot of efforts into it. One lot of effort is like every day you have to come to the class, attend the class, 2 hours for the practice. There are already people who are in the IT, they can spend 1 hour for the practice. But who want to go for a 5 years, 6 years of experience, what they have to do, they have to connect with me. One thing, they have to put 1 hour for the live class, 2 to 3 hours for the practice. Once they practice everything, I will guide them, because 6 to 7 years of experience, if they want to manage, they have to provide, they have to go with a proper information, so that if you are going to sit for the interview, no, you have to very confident. Not only that, you have to have a good knowledge about all the services. So that is what a 6 7, because you are going to be a senior developer or senior data analyst, senior data engineer. So that is the reason for these candidates who are going for 3 years, 3.5 years, 4 years, no, they will be like a data engineer or a junior analyst or a junior data engineer. But 4 plus 5 years of experience, they are going for a senior data engineer. They have to put a lot of efforts into it. Okay. Yeah. Thank you, sir. There have been one more question, sir. What about freshers? Is this course is for the freshers or not? Yeah. So, sir, if you want to go into the data field, because what happens is like if you go and join in a company as a freshers, no, they will give you a small work related to the Excel, or that may not be challenging, first thing, because you have a very young blood, but the Excel work is not going to be challenging. And one more thing is like they're going to give us basics called C++, these kind of programming languages that you don't want to work on. And not only that, you will be in a loop. Okay, you don't know how to, if I want to go outside and get one more job, it is very hard for them. But with this course, what happens is like I'm gonna start from the very basics. It is, you are from a mechanical engineering background, or you are from a IT background, or you are from a CSE background, whoever you are. If you understand the little bit of English, what I am speaking today, if you understand, then that is helpful for you. That's it. Because I'm going to cover from the what is data onwards. So very basics onwards, so that, and the projects, theoretical plus practical labs plus projects will really help you to get into a dream company where you can start directly with a 6 LPA. 4.5 people are nowadays starting with 3.5, right? You can easily expect a 4.5 to 5.5 LPA, more than that. So that's how. And not only that, your job will be very challenging. And after that, when you go out of that company also, there is a demand for you. But if you go for a Excel, if you learn Excel, or if you learn some C language, but if you go outside, you can't able to explain everything in the interview. That is again a problem for those kind of candidates. Also, this course is very helpful. And this is one thing, sir. So from tomorrow onwards, we will be starting our regular classes. One thing, and where we are starting is like we have been starting with the very first thing is like cloud basics. What is the cloud computing? What is the differences between the on-premises as well as cloud computing? And after that, I will be telling you data engineering basics. What is data? What is database management system? What is the difference between the relational and non-relational database? So that is where we are starting from tomorrow onwards, sir. Please register yourself for a dream company and a dream job. So it is very helpful for you. And I have my students who have got very good offers in a very good MNCs. So it's in your hands. So if you want to go for a higher, if you want to get a challenging job, if you want to be in a demanding field, so that this is a course for you guys. Yep. Thank you all. Thank you. We will meet from tomorrow onwards. Yeah.